Okay. Were we? Should we address that we messed up yesterday, or should
Hell
we?
yeah.
We should.
Yeah, we gotta show him we're human, bro.
Huh?
Like, we gotta show him we make mistakes. Or you made mistakes. You fucked up. But like, nah, me, baby.
Like, this is my fault. Yeah. Shit. It kind of was. I mean, yeah, this was my fault.
I'm just glad it ain't me, bro.
Shit.
Nah, está bien.
First time in history this has happened, and
¿Que no se te para?
¿qué te digo? No.
You can see it. I'm like, boing.
Welcome everybody to episode 116. But you said you were gonna say
You okay?
episode 16.
116. 116.
Episode 116. Take.
Oh, do you catch this? Yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I didn't go over.
What
like,
I do here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
So
is take
here-
two.
This is
La
take
segunda
two.
toma.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Sammy explain it because he fucked up.
Some shit. Okay, so we say take two because this is episode 116, but this is actually the second time we're gonna do this. We were gonna keep this under wraps, keep this locked in a vault, keep this. We were gonna die with this secret, but Victor kind of suggested like, nah, bro, you just gotta tell the people.
Yeah, I gotta know we're human, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we make mistakes, you know.
And it was such a stupid like. Okay, so we gotta explain real quick. We recorded last night.
And tonight
And now
on a Tuesday.
on a Tuesday, yeah, like we're having to record this podcast again, basically. We'll see what happened was the plan was for us to go ahead and do the episode like normal on a Monday. We got together. We went through the whole shaboing, and then we went through the questions. We had a good conversation. We had a couple of laughs, a couple of cries, a couple of everything. It was like it was gonna be like one of those episodes that like moves the world kind of shit, and it was good. It was good, and I took everything and started editing. First thing I do is I have to import some shit and put it into a program and or whatever. It takes some time, so it took a little bit. Plug it in, it downloads. I hit play, and it sounds like my voice. I thought it was a microphone problem. Like I thought it was a microphone problem because at first I thought like mine maybe wasn't plugged in all the way. So maybe there's a problem with the XLR cable or some shit. So then I went through it and I started going through it, and I just realized that every time I talked on the microphone, what was recorded was basically a robot voice. So I was like, what the fuck was that? So like, if you listen to it, you got Victor talking to me. Victor sounds like normal, like always. And then you looked at me, and every time I talked, I sounded like I had been smoking for like fucking 100 years. Like, basically like.
Or you can show him.
Well, no, I was so mad yesterday that I deleted it.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. So it's good. And then, okay, so when I first saw that it wasn't, you sound like you were talking to a robot,
Yeah.
like, so his voice would go, and then I would answer back like,
Sound like the little droids from Star Wars.
yeah. And I was like, man, fuck, like I know what this was, bro. And I came back over here, I looked through my recorder and stuff, and yeah, there's like voice filters that are on this contraption that I record on, and I accidentally, right before we started, I clicked the robot voice, and since we don't wear headphones anymore, that's why this was an issue, because I mean this would have been something I caught like right away if I had been wearing headphones, like why do I sound like this or whatever. And then, well, yeah, it turns out as soon as we started, we did the whole episode, Victor with a robot. And what do we do?
So here we are the next day.
Well, we had different options. It's like, do we release it with Victor? You couldn't understand me. Like, honestly,
You can't understand me, bro.
like, no, you can. You can understand you. I know what you mean. Never mind. Like, it sounded fine. Like, on his end, like, it just felt like every time he was asking a question or some shit, it would be like, and I was like, man, like, this doesn't sound right. Like, I didn't feel good about letting that out because there'd be no way for you to understand what I'm saying, and Victor would have no like, conversation. You couldn't understand it,
Yeah.
So, the other option was to like, just put it out as like a joke, to be like, ha ha, look, we fucked this shit up, ha ha ha, which I might still do. Just put it out and just.
I'm telling you.
Whatever.
I mean, we already.
It's there.
We worked for it.
It
bro.
exists. Yeah, we had to spend our time doing it.
I pour my soul into the episode. Todo para nada. No es para que un pendejo se nada.
No, so anyway.
So now you have the headphones of shame.
Yeah, if you notice today, I'm going to be wearing headphones. This is basically like my line of defense to see if this doesn't work for some reason. I swear, if I sound like a damn Tinkerbell tomorrow morning, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. What do you want me to do? And it was like, we didn't want to let the week pass and just be like, oh, like we just came back. Hey, sorry guys, we fucked the shit up. Like we'll be back next week. I didn't want to do that. Like we just barely came back, so I didn't want to have to go through this process again. So I was like, fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll do it again tomorrow, and we're just gonna hope that everything comes out. The same. We're gonna try to see if stuff comes out the same way it kind of did yesterday. But I mean, we had a good conversation. It was good, and I feel like well, good thing I don't remember much because I mean, at the very least, like we can at least try to see if it'll come back. Así normal. Pero a ver qué pasa. So this is take 2.
Yeah.
This is take 2 of CharroBeans podcast, episode 116.
Sammy, way.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even say like, how's your week, bro? I already know.
Yeah.
Like you told me yesterday. No, so today's, I guess we'll just go straight into the topic, right?
What?
Should we just go straight into the topic?
Yeah. What's the topic?
Yeah, we got to go through the topic. The topic of today is, how do I not remember? I did shit yesterday. Today's topic is going to be covering some stuff that we asked you guys to answer for us. What would you change about your high school, college, professional mariachi career up to this point? I think the reason I thought of that being one of the prompts was because, like, depending on what kind of listener you are, if you're coming from high school, if you're coming from college, if you're just a regular old Joe like us and is a professional mariachi, or maybe you're like one of the retired ones, the ones that are just at home now, if that's you, then we wanted to see if you have anything that you would change about maybe your time when you were back then or where you're at now. I mean, do you feel comfortable with the decisions that led you to where you are now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of like the general idea of the topic, because I think in general I wouldn't say I'm an expert on this, but like, I mean, you, me, a lot of people, like we went through middle school, we went through high school, we went through college and professional life. Like I've had mariachi at this point. Mariachi's been a part of my life for like over half my life. I've spent longer with mariachi than without. So like at this point, like I've been around for a while, and right now that I'm just like in a professional mariachi setting, I play with these guys every weekend or whatever. That's kind of our thing right now. So we kind of wanted to see what you guys think about that topic, and then just give us an idea, some insight. Because I mean, you and me have played together. Well, no, I didn't know you in middle school. Never mind. I don't know you. I only know you. I knew you in high school. That's the only time we played together prior to now.
¿Sí o no?
Sí, por eso digo, like you started middle school just like me, except you were coming from Mexico.
Started in 7th grade. What?
Yeah, like you came from Mexico.
In elementary, bro. Like
You were imported,
Still
and then
in middle school, yeah, I estaba.
and then you came to. No, you said before that your 6th grade you wanted to join, but no te dejaron.
I
or
want to
some
play
shit?
violin. I don't know. No, listen to yeah, you know, I was just, yeah, I wanted to play violin in 6th grade, and I signed up for it. Well, in 6th grade, like, I guess I wanted to be different because if you know, I come with a little batch of Mexicans, which I always talk about, like Michael and Joan and all these kids.
Oh yeah, all these guys that like grew up in mariachi too, because
Yeah. Well,
when
I mean,
you
we were together since 3rd grade.
third.
Yeah. They just
What age is that?
like 10,
Nah, it's younger, bro.
9, 8.
8?
No sé.
Yeah, you question yourself. I don't know.
Because I think 6th grade is 1st grade, 2nd grade, 7th.
I don't know, bro. I was a
Seventh
little
year.
turd back then, so I didn't really.
But yeah, that's and they all picked guitar. I was like,
everybody picks guitar.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll pick violin, bro. You know. And then they called me to the advisor's office, and she's like, something, something.
It was literally something, right?
Yeah, it was. I want to say it was because they didn't have violins or like enough violins. Maybe the class was full.
Yeah.
Or maybe because it clashed with my schedule. Because I was in language center, so that meant I had to like have the certain teachers who did not know Spanish. All they did was like yell at us and be like, "Hey, English." Like, all right.
We're like,
yeah. So
that's wild.
So
that they have like an American. Well, I guess that's their job, right? To teach you guys English.
Yeah.
But it's like you gotta teach it first, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like you need someone that can speak both, so you can be like, "Agua is water," you know.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah, like not just because another thing about it, all of my teachers, except for my first one, they all were like English speakers.
Right.
Like how the fuck, you know, like conocemos tanto, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because when you show up here, like you don't know nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like you could read like Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, like
Sprite.
The literal translations posible, pero
yeah.
But when you hear fucking, I don't know, car, you know,
carro.
Oh fuck,
that's easy, bro.
House, casa,
hausa, nah.
You know. So yeah, I picked ballet, and they call me to the advisors, and they're like, pick something else, do something else." Yeah. And I don't know what I picked. I think I picked like math by art, which fucking sucked.
What was that? I just remembered that math by art. What do you do?
One of it, yeah, you just use math to like do art. So one of them would be like, they give you like a big graphing paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it graphing? Que tiene cuadritos?
Are you talking about the construction paper? Remember when you used to make big ass posters?
Yeah.
That was the time we were online.
But yeah, like you use what? No. And then like you would like scale them, right? And then you would take a regular picture and then like le pon los cuadritos, and then you use math and like you just kind of like draw it from there. That was one of the experiments.
That sounds fun. What's wrong with that?
You had to do math, bro. That's and yeah, the second year, that's when I was like, I want to sign up again. And yeah, sabía más inglés, güey. So I remember they were like, sign up for violin again. And they're like, te dije que no. Like, I'm like, okay, entonces put me in guitar. Fuck, like, damn. Like. So yeah, they put me in guitar. And then that's when my music career started.
Yeah.
Y valió verga.
But I mean, looking back, I guess that's one thing I could ask you. Like, would you rather have started on violin?
Yeah, I mean, I was tell like Saul, or people that I was seeing play. I'm like very jealous of you guys, because like I see you do like un ataque, you know, that sounds real cool. Or like you had like this like vibrato at the end of a note, and it sounds really nice, you know. And all I can do is add rhythm to it.
Yeah,
you know, it's not the greatest. That's why I like classical guitar, because in classical guitar, there's I always preferred classical when I was a kid to Mariachi, because in classical I had all this freedom of expression. I could slow down when I wanted, speed up, you know, crescendos and all this shit. And now, pues vale verga, because I can't follow a metronome. Like, me emociono, güey, me voy, you know. But yeah, if I could play violin, I would definitely. If I could go back, I would.
I thought that for a long time because I mean, my story was a little different. Like, you know, when I first started, I didn't want to play mariachi. It was just like I wanted to learn to play rock and roll, baby. Like I wanted to fucking rock out with my guitar out, you know. So that was my plan. Like learn to play guitar and then get out of here once I can play like Slash. You know, like, like that was
make millions. You know,
yeah. I was like, I got this shit planned out, bro. Like school, I don't need school. I was like, I got this shit planned out. Like fucking, it's just cake, you know. And then you know, I started playing, and it took 2 years for me to like get interested in mariachi, and then in general. It's funny that you brought this up the other day that, like, you know, our old teacher, Dr. G, his whole thing was, like, you know, he would get so many students. Like, so many students.
Not compared to now.
No, but
now,
I mean...
like, programs have students by, like, the
by the hundreds. Yeah. But I meant, like, you know, I see this as... Since I'm a director, you know, like, I see the students that sign up for, like, these electives sometimes. Yeah. Some of them are, like, you're genuinely interested. Like, they want to go in there and they want to be like, what's this about? You know, I want to check this out, you know, and you got those people that like quit after a year, or maybe they quit after 2 years, you know, or they actually genuinely like they have an interest in what you're saying, or they just came in to play guitar and then you teach them about mariachi and they're like, oh, this is cool. Like I never thought about this. So like Dr. G was the one I think that actually told me too. He's like, here's a vihuela. You ever thought about playing this? And it's like, no, you know, yeah, like he gives me a vihuela that's, you know, it's a fatter guitar and it's just like smaller, and in my head I'm like, all right, well, let me try this out, and it's like, oh, it's kind of like a guitar, you just, you know, some chords are different, and I took to that, and you know, so many years later, 1,000 years later, I'm still doing this and I'm playing vihuela, you know, and it took his initiative to be like, oh, let's try it out, and you said he kind of does that, like maybe with some students that he saw like took an interest,
okay,
you know.
Good job. So what I said was,
what's this?
That's your prize, bro, for listening to me. For paying attention in my lecture.
Oh, okay. Where'd you get a nickel from?
That's a good question. No tengo más.
Okay.
Because in today's programs, like I see that there's like fight to get like a lot of students into the program, because I'm guessing maybe the numbers will get them like a budget, like a bigger budget.
It's
right?
I mean, something that I've seen as a director is like
the more kids you have, the more attention.
I mean,
from the school from something.
It's your administrators. Yeah, you know, it's people that you don't necessarily see every day. Yeah. But they know you're around because they funded your program. You know, and they're part of the
district. These programs went from like, I think Dr. G at one point said like, He felt very overwhelmed because we did like you know how we do the Christmas concerts and shit. Yeah, and he would be like wow, like this year we had like 120 students or something like that, you know. And now those programs are like 300 kids. Yeah, you know. So, chingazo, ¿qué decir? Where was I going with this?
I was saying that like whenever
so like with all these kids in these programs, like they want every kid to be at a level. Right?
At a certain level, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, that's very hard to ask from a class that's an elective. Because electives are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to, like, also see them as, like, time fillers, you know? Like, maybe you want to do something else, try something, you know? Something to experiment.
I was taught that an elective was, like, oh, do you have an interest in something? Yeah. Like, you know, you want to learn about this? Get into this class, you know? And it was like your fun time outside of, not fun time. They would never say fun in school. It's more like it's, you know, it's time to take an interest in
like
something.
Broaden your horizons.
Right. Other than English and social studies and learning about the Boston Massacre.
But they're not a big deal. If you feel English, they're like, hey, like what's going on? Let's get you in tutoring. Let's get you.
Yeah, for sure.
They're going to call your parents. They're going to like do all this shit because they want you at a level. Because it's an important class, you know. You learn how to read, how to write, whatever.
That's when your parents are like, "You feeling fucking Spanish, bro?" You know, like, no sabes.
He's like, no sabo. Anyways,
es que no sepo.
So like that's why I feel like Dr. G's method was good because he saw the kids that wanted to learn and had like I guess some type of potential, and he would be like, "Oh, we'll try this." Like you
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
like have heard this vihuela,
Yo
try
todo
like
pendejo. Like, no, what is
yeah,
that?
yeah, like or like try this new song, try this like always trying something, like put on
Yeah.
this traje maybe like it will fit you. Okay, ponte a tocar.
Like, this
And
shit fresh as fuck,
yeah,
bro. Fuck.
yeah, and with the kids that weren't very interested, or maybe they were there for shits and giggles,
Yeah, just for
he would be
slackers.
like,
Yeah.
at least show me you can play a C chord. At least like, can you play like dos cuartos? Puncham, puncham. Can you do
Yeah.
that? Okay,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
Like you passed. I don't know if he gave C's, B's, or A's, but like,
I don't know. I always had an A. I don't
yeah,
know. I had a fucking A.
yeah,
Like I was good to go. I did my fucking work. Like,
yeah.
you know?
So that's why I liked it,
Yeah.
because he gave the kids that wanted to progress like the nurture,
tools.
the nurture. Like
Yeah, it gives
like
them-
he was like, okay,
Yeah.
tatuita,
Yeah.
and the kids that were like kind of like, well, I'm just here to get like a grade or
Yeah.
whatever. They'd be like, okay, well, what's this part of the guitar? Like, how do you hold it? Play me a D chord, and like, okay, get the fuck out,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Why are we talking about this?
I was just saying that's kind of how I started my journey,
Yeah.
right? And I mean that's a good way to look at it. Like, if you're in a guitar program, or sorry, a guitar program, mariachi program, like in middle school. I mean, this is middle school for us. If it wasn't for that middle school program, we probably wouldn't have done the high school program. If it wasn't for the high school program, I probably wouldn't have done the college one. And so forth and so
Yeah.
forth. So like I don't have any regrets about how I started, because I mean I went there fully invested in becoming a guitar player.
Yeah.
But I didn't come out with the intention of being a mariachi player. Like that was something that came up.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad it did, obviously, because I mean now mariachi is like my whole not my
Yeah.
whole personality, but like it's a huge part of my
Yeah.
personality. Like mariachi music, I'm able to tell you who these famous Mexican singers are, and famous songs and stuff like that. But some of these, a lot of Mexicans don't know about mariachi music, and it's like
Yeah.
it's their music, bro. It's like from their land and shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, for the most part, like if it wasn't for me, like going through that middle school program, I probably wouldn't have done high school. And in high school, we have a similar experience because we both were in the same program.
Yeah.
We both we both came in at different times, because I forget. So I was a junior when you were a freshman,
Sure.
because we're 2 years apart.
Okay.
School years apart. So that means that whenever you came in, like I knew you as that guitar player kid
Yeah.
that was gonna come in.
And you know what? Now that, because when we recorded this yesterday, I said I would have liked to do more sports, or at least more soccer, right?
Right. That was one of the things we're talking about. Like the regrets, or like something you would change
Yeah.
was like you were very interested in soccer, or
Yeah.
like sports. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, it's fun, I guess. But
It's fun,
Another
teamwork.
regret that I have too is just like leaving my classical guitar career too. Because after I started working, like in 8th grade, I don't know who was paying for it, or maybe but I was taking classes with Michael Daly, and rest in peace, porque ya
Mhm.
falleció.
Yeah.
And I do regret not pursuing that more, because after I started working, I started like getting more into mariachi. I kind of like started letting that go,
And it's funny because too, that's what we knew you as.
yeah,
You're a classical guitar player. You're that 8th grader that was like, wow, he's a quiet kid, but like you were playing all these guitar solos. Sweet Child of Mine. You know this kid.
what?
You know that song?
No.
You're like Master of Puppets.
I'm sorry, bro.
Metallica.
No.
It's because guitar solos is referring to like
As
class
classical pieces,
right?
like,
So I'm over here
know,
never mind.
I'm
bro.
here like Opus 47,
was-
bro. Like
Yeah, that was a
number 2.
that was a layered joke. I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
someone will get that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
Someone's like,
Yeah, not me, bro.
oh shit.
I'm like, can you shut up now? Like,
Yeah,
can I
anyway.
talk?
Like we knew you as that kid that was
Yeah.
gonna come into. I didn't even know you as a mariachi player. I knew you as that fucking nerd kid that plays like really
I was
good.
not a nerd.
Or like anytime you're good at anything, you're a fucking.
I guess
nerd.
I'm like, oh yeah.
You were good
Yeah.
at guitar. You were like
Yeah.
a classical player. So you
Yeah.
came in with like, oh, I know he's in mariachi, but we all knew you as that kid that because you were playing like fucking Asturias, like like you were playing like all this shit that like for an eighth, especially because I'm looking at eighth graders right now, in my middle school, and I'm like, damn, bro, like that means that when you were an eighth grader, like you were playing all this shit. I was like, damn, bro, like it's crazy, like how you can. Couple years ago, before that, you couldn't speak English. You learned English. You learned to read music, and then like now you're like playing fucking class one solos.
Yeah.
Pinche virtuoso, pinche Beethoven, way no mames.
Ese way.
Yeah, me la pela,
But I
güey.
just feel like I would have liked to pursue it more because I feel like I would have grown a lot more musically.
Yeah,
Because in high school, I mean, in middle school, it was like Dr. G gave very like little hints about like music theory and stuff like that.
yeah.
'Cause
Oh, it was so much more theory than I
Yeah.
remember. I
Yeah.
told you when I go through I still have his mariachi books, and
Yeah.
you go through them, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah, the circle of fifths.
Yeah, I was
chord
like,
structure.
I didn't learn any of this shit, and I did in middle school apparently.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah.
But in high school, like a lot of that stuff never came up. Like
Yeah.
even in college, it's like, oh, you know how to read music, all right? Well, like let's play the show, and
Yeah.
it was like that was it, But I mean, for the most part, all of us were mostly like just doing our best to get as much theory as we could, like just
Yeah.
mariachi theory, but like it wasn't being taught to me.
Yeah.
The only one was like Dr. G. Well, he was trying to, but I mean, you don't remember shit that you did
Yeah.
in middle school. Like, I mean, I just remember being a little shit in middle school mostly, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was a very basic. I mean, if you think about it, it is a very basic like music theory like structure. Like
Right.
círculos. We learned that with them, and like primera, segunda, tercera. We learned that
Right.
with them. Because that was the whole. I mean, if you remember the books, the progressions, that's all they were. It was just can you get from primera to segunda, from primera to tercera, and then segunda, and then all these little progressions to help you.
Yeah, like he had me learning Roman numerals.
Yeah.
and shit.
Exactly,
Like,
los círculos.
yeah, por eso.
And like I think what sparked it too was one day like we were working on because he wanted to do like you said Asturias, but like for mariachi.
Right.
And he was letting me be no hacer el arreglo, but he let me like advise him to make like this arreglo of Asturias for mariachi.
Oh, he wrote that out with your help?
Yeah, because he was like, well,
composer too.
No. Because he was just asking me like,
Yeah.
what parts do you want to play? Because it's a long song. You're not gonna play the whole song.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything like you wanna start or end here? And I was like, oh, okay, well, these are my favorite parts.
Yeah.
This and that. And then I saw him like write it out, and I was like, how come you write the bass first? And he just said something like, oh, I mean, because it's a bass. That's where everything comes from.
Right.
And I just kind of like sparked like, what do you mean? Like, what does that mean? And then that's when I got like he told me that I could work with Michael Daly like weekly.
Yeah.
And then I loved about Michael Daly, bro. You could ask him anything. I think that's why like good professors too. Like a good professor, like you ask him anything, bro, and they're just like, or with like so much experience.
Yeah.
That anything you ask, as stupid as it is, they're just like, mira. They give you like a 30 minutes worth of like.
Well, one of my favorite quotes that you
was from Michael Daly.
was from him. Where I like hearing when you say it, bro. Say it.
Why?
The one that
No, I'm theory? Yeah. Well, that's like the first time we met.
Yeah.
Because it was like a lot of by myself I could learn anything like in 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
But with someone like him, I could learn like everything in 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I have someone that like. I mean, learning is like taking a path, You go somewhere, when you find a dead end, you go back, you find another strong. But if you have someone that's like been through that path, they guide you to like, para que no te pierdas,
Yeah, like he was a very experienced player, so he could just give you all this wealth of information that like, again, you could probably find all the information, but he's literally like a vessel of information, So and
he has very crazy stories, bro. Like he'll be like like I was hiking in Alaska, and I almost lost his finger. Te enseñaba de todo morado, and you're like, oh, la verga.
And he's like this guitar teacher.
Yeah, dude,
it's
like, fucking crazy. Like,
what about Alaska?
Like,
I like that.
And that's what I liked about him. Like, porque yo era un niño, güey. Like, yo llegaba and I'd be like, hey, check this manico out, bro. Like, porque yo también venía de mariachi, so like, I was like joropo and like, you hear this? Check this out. You know,
No,
like,
I'm striking.
yeah.
Mira, aquí te traigo, cabrón.
Sí. And like, él no me bateaba. He also was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. You know, and then I guess he would slowly like go back to the lesson.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would just ask him everything. So like, I remember we had like a notepad that we would have on my books,
Okay.
and it would be like, you know, like arpeggio scales. There were like 6 of them,
Mm.
and each week we would work on one of them.
Mhm.
I had to work on everything, but like 1 week it would be like for that,
Mhm.
right? And because of my dumbass, that list kept getting longer because I was like, hey, I want to learn tremolo. And he'd be like, okay. And he would write it on the little pad and he would give me like the thing. And then I would like, what's music theory? And he's like, okay, he would write it down.
He's
and
like, fuck.
yeah, bro, it was a
He's
long
like,
list.
yeah, this
towards
is
the end.
it's a little too complex right now. Like,
Yeah.
can't get into that right now. You know.
No. Like.
Oh, he was?
No, he was done as fuck, bro.
Oh
Like,
shit! Yeah.
like
fuck,
everything I asked, he gave it to me. Like, fuck. And then yeah, he would just like go into his little office and like print out something and be like, okay, aquí está triad. You know, why is it? He explained to me like tones like are able to go together even though they're not. Like,
it's so funny because like I can imagine like there's like this TikTok that was like that. It was like when your teacher goes off on this like music theory
Yeah.
like tangent or whatever, and you can't even read the music, and you're like, what the hell are you even talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's like it's so complex, bro. Like,
Yeah.
oh, man, I'm so glad I didn't go to school for music, bro. Like, I would have been like it's interesting, but not for a grade. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
like tell me because I'm interested, but don't grade me on this shit. If you're
Yeah.
grading me, like, bro, this is boring, the fucking most boring shit ever. Like, I can't.
I think it's just the pressure of like you want to
Oh
do good.
fuck
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And
Not everybody wants to be a better musician. Like
Yeah.
I shit, if I could just pull out a guitar and like play anything I wanted because I have all that music theory, like fucking chingon, you know.
Yeah.
But like, is it worth it for me? Like, not
well, that's me with my science classes.
realistically.
Because I like learning about like, you know, like your environment.
Yeah.
That's what like physics, chemistry, biology,
Yeah.
all of that is like your surroundings, how everything works.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. But when you have this thing in the back of your head, like, hey, like this shit, like you better get an A, you know.
You having fun, bro? Because like if you get a 0, you're fucking done. You know that, right?
Exactly. So it's like, fuck. Now you're stressed. Now you don't want to do it.
Now you're stressed.
And
Leaves got me
anyways,
stressed.
yeah, like Michael was always like, oh, you want to learn this? Okay, like let's put this to the side. And he's like, he writing a little notepad, and he's like,
Yeah.
okay, do it. And I'm like, I regret this. like, no. Like it was.
No,
I wish I could have stayed because after like freshman, sophomore year, I started working. So like since I was working like weekends, I wasn't going to my classes. Eventually, I stopped going altogether.
Huh?
What?
In high school?
Yeah.
You stopped going to school in high school?
To class. Michael Daly's class.
Oh, I was like, bro, what? Like,
You were
okay.
there, bro. Like, what do you mean?
So you stopped going to his classes?
Yeah.
His classes, right. Okay, I understand. It's
Still
just took me a second.
And I wish I would have pursued it because I feel like I would have been
No, yeah, I mean,
a lot higher. Because in high school, you don't get any of that. In high school, you're already like expected to at least know how to read, how to keep a beat, how to, I don't know, have some type of ear.
I mean, most of our. I mean, if you come into high school knowing how to read, knowing how to play, I mean, and if you're in a competing group, I mean, your job is to stand there,
Yeah.
showmanship, play in tune, and
Yeah.
I mean, play the arreglo, you know, play
Yeah.
but after that, like,
The problem with that is you don't progress. Like, maybe your mariachi style goes up. Pero, o sea, how are you going to learn to do a segunda if you don't know, like, si este es un sol, the harmony can be a B or maybe from a 6, you know?
And I know that, like, I know a lot of, there's a lot of new things that they're trying to do, like, in today's classrooms, like, to kind of.
I'm just talking about my time. Like,
oh, yeah,
I
I know things are trying to change now, which is good, you know, because I mean, and it's not like this information is like, all this music theory is like out the window. Like, it should be taught, you know, like, it's important. But I know for sure, like, I functioned without a lot of that theory for a long time.
Which is fine. It's like a lot of people grow up like that, you know?
Yeah. And
but that's because you didn't have a chance.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you have all the tools you need, like YouTube right now, like
Oh,
casi no hay excusa para algo así, you
there
know?
is no excuse to not know shit. Like
Yeah,
you just look it up.
sadly.
Like that's literally Generation Alpha. Like, how do we do this? Google.
Yeah.
You know, like I've had students do that. Like, we have a book, and on the back of it has chords, right? And then like some students will tell me like, Mister, I don't know how to play this chord. I'm like, okay. Have you checked the back of the book? Because I know, but I googled it, and then like they'll show me a picture, and I'm like, it's in the back of the book. Like,
Yeah.
just literally look it over. It's like I couldn't read it, and it's like the same shit on the laptop is in the book. I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
like, it's like if it's not digitized, it's like
Yeah.
I can't read this.
Critical thinking, bro. Please. To them, it's like hieroglyphics.
Critical thinking isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's like thinking. If it doesn't work, like give up.
Well, one of our professors last semester said like, what was it? Like common sense, not that common, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
common sense is not that common.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. So well, let's read a couple of you guys' things. So again, the topic is, what would you change about your high school / college / professional mariachi career up to this point? First one we got was I'm not gonna put any names. I don't really know. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, not letting the director disrespect slide, and they put like a little emoji like this.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, like some directors, like I feel like a lot of people think that like teachers are like como like robots, you know, like they're meant to do this and like they're a certain way because that's maybe they don't see like your actual you, because you put on a filter, right, when you're a teacher.
Yeah, when you're meeting me at school,
Right.
you're meeting my representative,
Right.
Michael Chris Rock. Like, I mean, you come up and you're meeting not Sammy, but you're meeting Mr. Ramirez.
Yeah.
You know, like and that's because we're in a school setting, you know. So like I gotta act like a different person.
Yeah.
Everything I do is under a filter.
Yeah. And I feel like with kids with their lack of awareness, you know, like they don't realize that that's you putting up a farce. Like that's not the real you, right?
Yeah.
Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, some teachers are assholes because that's how they are as people, you know. So like I feel like
outside of the classroom.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
but sometimes that can be expressed in the classroom. So that's why you see some teachers are like assholes to their students.
Yeah.
You know, like other teachers like to take advantage of their students and
Mhm.
just kind of like make them feel bad to make themselves feel better. So
Mhm.
like they're like bullies. And like others just like they think it's right to just like put them down because they're building like it's
To
the
build
fucking
them-
army. You
Like
know?
like the Marines, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
Yeah, the 13 weeks of hell. Like
yeah, bring them down so you can bring them back
Yeah.
up, you know. And
no, break them down so you can build them up however you want them to.
yo, ¿qué dije?
You said bring them down to bring them back up. Like los tumbas y luego los levantas.
You're like, okay, get the
Yeah,
fuck out.
exactly. Yeah, but no, you're taking everything they're made of.
Yeah,
You take it apart and then you
Yeah.
rebuild it
yeah.
however you want.
I mean, I think you're right on that one. It's like if you have maybe a director like that that's like not that great. I mean, how are they outside of that? You know, because like I mean, I have colleagues. You know, like I've met other directors. I've around Texas. You know, but this isn't just applied to directors. Like this goes with mariachi players in general. You know, they're one way when they're in the mariachi ensemble or if they're in the mariachi room or whatever. But you know, when you're like, man, they're tough people. Like they're kind of rough. You know, the way that they talk to people. Okay, but they're also like that outside of the room. So it's like, you know, you don't want to hang out with people like that. You know, and it's not even just because that's how they treat their students. That's how they treat people. You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not something that I wanted to do, especially like when I got out and I went and I told myself I was going to go towards this career path. Like one of the things that I wanted to do was like, I wanted to be myself. I wanted to be true to myself. I think any director takes the good and the bad, or looks at the good and the bad of their directors, prior directors, and says, okay, like this is the stuff that I want to do, and this is the stuff I don't want to do. And you kind of look at that and you're like, this is what I want to implement in my program. Because when it's your program, it's your program. Like you could essentially do whatever as long as it follows the curriculum. But at the end of the day, like if you're like let's in mariachi, like now that everything is a UIO event, like it's as big as a prize as they do in football. Like I told you, like I saw a football team holding up that plaque that says UIO, that wooden plaque that you get, like. And it's the same when you get in mariachi. And I'm like, oh shit, so this is for real. Like this is UIL, you know? And so I started thinking about it and I was like, well, me going towards this career path, I wanted to be myself, but I wanted to make sure that I, you know, at the end of the day, like set up my students to be good people. And like whether or not they take my advice, I mean, that's always up to the student, you know, like but I know for sure, like I never wanted to disrespect them or make them feel down or make them feel like, you know, they weren't enough or whatever. Like if they truly can't play at the caliber that I want them to be or whatever, like, you know, everybody's different. There's people that have been playing all their lives and they're just like trash or they're not as good, you know? And then there's like people that naturally it comes to them, you know, like they can pick up singing quick or they pick up multiple instruments así de volada, ¿verdad? And it causes them to be like good players and stuff like that, but like not everybody is at the same level, you know? So it's kind of like you said before, like we can't expect every single kid in that classroom to be like at the exact same level. Like just because one kid isn't as good as the violin player next to him or the guitar player next to him, it's like they're different kids. They learn differently. Like we're literally in the age of like every kid has his own specifications. Like one's you know, gifted and talented, but one's also like, you know, an English learner and us growing up in the hood. All of us are English learners, like ESL, like English singing language. Like everybody picks up shit differently, you know? So, you know, directors that are in there, like just treating it like a dictatorship can be hard. I know that from firsthand, you know, like when nothing matters but this competition, but it's like, you know, we have problems at home. We have problems, you know, we have school, like it's not funny. I have school.
Yeah.
You know, like I literally have like AP classes. Like I'm not going to make my elective the most stressful part of your day.
Yeah.
You know? And some people maybe don't understand that. So, I mean, this person saying like if he's getting disrespected by his director, I mean, it's like, fuck, like what do you do, you know? Cuz they're supposed to be like the adult in the room. You know, like they're supposed to be the ones that can look can have all the conversations and everything. But like, if you feel like you're being more mature, like than the actual adult in the room, it's like, damn, bro, like that sounds a little backwards, no?
Yeah,
you know,
it's like do your job, bro. Fuck.
Yeah,
but yeah, like I say.
Oh, sorry. I'm like I'm having like war flashbacks. I'm like,
like chop chop movie boy. Have you seen those? On TikTok?
Yeah. It's like a movie.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
part 238, and it's like the rest of the movie.
Yeah, but
did you say you're watching Oppenheimer?
Yeah. he hasn't uploaded the next part, but people are like, "Hey, chop chop, movie boy! Like, you picked this job. Come on,
next clip. Let's go." Yeah. That's so funny, bro. This person says, "Wish I considered getting into mariachi education sooner. Thought I wouldn't like teaching." So yesterday we kind of brought up this same question yesterday, but it was like, I'm glad that someone is into teaching, because like right now everything's kind of backwards. Like as far as teachers go, like it's very hard for us to find people to do it, because everybody as of right now like is starting to see that teaching could be a profession that like you can come into it so naive. Like you want to start your program and it's like, I want to be, you know, these are my arrangements, this is what I want to do. Not even just mariachi, like band.
Fuck,
you know.
I had this whole discussion yesterday about this whole thing.
Yeah.
But I made it way. But yeah, you're right.
What do you mean?
Because I said something like, school prepares you for a perfect world.
Yeah. But you were going into it. You're like, hey, you know what, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have the same energy. But it's out there.
You just got to hear
from a robot.
I'm like, yeah. No, but you're right. You bring up a good point. Yesterday he was talking about, it's because right, like when I got into this profession, I didn't go to school for it. You know, I did alternative teaching, you know, and teaching like kind of fell on my lap. But there's people that, you know, given how much you will get paid, depending on your district, you know, depending where you live. If you live, you know, in the valley, if you live here in North Texas, if you live, in freaking Waco. I don't know, or if you live in Amarillo, Texas, like there are programs all over the place. But like depending on the district, like do you want to get paid that salary after going 4 or 5 years to school, getting your student um your teacher education what's it called, your teacher certificate, taking tests and doing all this and finding a program, and then and then only getting paid, whatever, it could be 50 grand or whatever it is, but like you put in so much time to get into this job, and like sometimes you may not find a job. Maybe you're a band teacher looking, and there's nothing but orchestra jobs, and it's like, damn, dude, like it's hard to get into, and that's why a lot of people come in naively, because all the tests that we take,
Yeah.
a perfect world. This kid, this bad thing happened to him, and like, what do you do about it or whatever? And then it's like, well, they make you choose the answer in a perfect world, but in the real world, it's like so many circumstances can be layered onto that,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't know what to do, and like there's certain protocols we have to follow, but it's like shit's different.
That's all like my major, bro. You know everything they teach us in my major, it's just like you're never gonna know, bro. Like échale ganas.
They tell you that?
Yeah, they're like, cause it's so complex. And it's just kind of like
It's your body, right? Because
yeah.
like with PT, it's like when you show me the animations on your laptop,
Yeah.
or on your iPad, and it's like he has like this thing where like you can see like every muscle in their body and stuff. And he's like, this is your medulla oblongata, right? And it's like you look at it, and then he's just like opening it and shit, and I'm like, bro, like this is so complex. Like the human body is so complex. So when you're telling me
that's the thing they tell you, they're just kind of like, you're never really gonna know what it is. So treat it best you can, and then, like you even hear like PTs when if you observe them, they're just kind of like, if it hurts, stop, like, cause they don't know either.
They don't know what to do.
They're just like, but if it hurts, stop, like we'll retrace,
Which
that's what I like
which is
about it.
crazy because like none of our tests are like, all right, so Jimmy, came home with bruises one day. What should you do? Like, I don't know. The answer choice is like, hope for the best. Like it's like, no, like it's so different,
Yeah.
And music education is not like the easiest thing because I mean I see this every day right now, but like every kid, like the new generations, man, like it really is true, like instant gratification from like this generation. Like it's very hard for me to get, not just me, but like a lot of teachers, especially in music, like to get them interested in music. Because I mean, if you've been brought up since you were a kid to like have an iPad, like or have a TV in front of you, or having a screen in
You
front of
call
you.
it Generation Alpha? Is that
Yeah,
are those the
generational.
tablet kids now?
Yeah, it's like the ones that
Ooh.
are recién salidos, güey. O sea, right now, they're barely out.
Okay.
Just released, new release. Yeah.
It's the new batch.
Yeah, new badge. Yeah, it's a called, but they're given a laptop, first third grade or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and they have internet access. They have access to YouTube. So kids know how to use a phone more than like some toys. You give them a toy, they don't know how to play with it. They're like, and they pick up a phone and like. You saw that? It was like Tony, kids not knowing how to play with like a
Oh
toy.
yeah. But as soon as you give an iPad,
It's like Tony Stark. Yeah, he's just like
Yeah.
swiping and shit. Like, how do they know that shit?
Yeah.
And it's just because they've been programmed. Like so. Right now, getting into education is also hard. Because I mean, it's hard for me to tell a student, okay, you want to play guitar? I'm like, okay, cool. Like first day, for week one, it's like, here's a guitar. All right, we'll start learning theory. They're like, oh. All right, we start learning. Okay, when do we get the guitar? When do we get the guitar? When do we get the okay? Here's the guitar. All right, they get it. They're like, hell yeah. And then I was like, all right, here's a G chord, Mister. My finger hurts. Okay, yeah, like you go through that. It's like the next day, Mister. I found these things online on Amazon, and they're like finger covers, and you put them on the fingertips so your fingers don't hurt. I'm like, but the pain is part of it. Like you have to get used to it. But like for them, it's like, no, like this hurts. So I need to find a solution right now.
Yeah.
And it's like it doesn't work like that.
My solution is to keep playing, bitch. Fuck.
Yeah, you gotta keep going. And like that's another thing as a teacher, you gotta find a way to be like, no, that's not the way. Let's do it, but I don't want to do it. Okay, what about now? Like you gotta like convince them with 30 different ways on how to do it, and it's like it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So I mean, I'm just glad that like people are interested in it. I'm not trying to discourage you in any way. Like it's a rewarding career. Like you get to see like right now my varsity kids are like all in 12th grade. Like all my students are in 12th grade. So that means that like I'm 4 years in, like prison, like fucking.
Still wait.
I'm like I'm 4 years in. You know, this is my fourth school year. So
For real?
like,
4 years?
yeah, man. So
God
like I
damn.
met these kids as freshmen, and
Yeah.
they're about to graduate, and do what they do after high school. It's like I told you, like once you finish high school, like life is much different than you're used to.
Are any of them going to music? No.
Um, Good question. One of them does. Yeah, one of them. She wants to be a teacher. I
Oh,
hope she does. I think she could do it.
pobre.
Yeah. But like it really some people don't some kids don't understand that like when we talk about like I missed out you missed out on soccer, like I missed out on baseball when I was in high school because my whole time was dedicated to like mariachi and stuff.
Yeah.
And the whole time I remember thinking like, man, I wish like I had the time to do it, but I couldn't because I was so dedicated. And like these kids, like I give them so much freedom, bro. Like I'd be like, if you have soccer practice, at least let me know if you know your music. Like but I want them to play soccer. I want them to do other things because I mean, mariachi isn't necessarily like their job. I'm not paying them,
Yeah.
so like I can't force them. I really can't. But I don't know.
Nada, está cabrón, güey.
Yo qué sé.
Shit.
I'm just a wee lad.
There you go. There you go. Okay, wait.
No,
Get
no,
it.
no, not that way. This person says learning to sing.
Oh, how do I talk about this one too, bro?
I know.
I'm tired.
What did you say?
No, mamada.
Like my thing was like learning. If I would have done this shit so much sooner, it would have been so much better because again, like doing singing or like doing it in school and it's hard as a middle schooler. You know why? Because you barely started like
Oh, in middle school is where all the hierarchy of like they all started putting themselves as like the popular kids and nerds.
that's what I'm saying.
So,
like it's so hard because when you're figuring out
Figuring.
I can't say figuring out your life in middle school because that's when it starts, bro. You like conscious starts.
Yeah.
Like you start thinking about like how you look. You start thinking about how you feel. Certain like yeah. Do it again.
No.
You were like this. Like I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say it. You go through
Don't say
puberty.
it.
You go through puberty. Like
We're gonna go there, bro.
yeah, like, you start liking girls. Like
What?
I'm like
Girls.
I mean, I
I
do.
want to see men.
and like you start liking. So like okay, so my middle school teacher, he was like, he tried so hard, man. Like looking back, I'm like, that's one thing I like regret. Like I was a little shit back then, so I remember like he would be like, just try the song out, And I remember it was like Son de las Indias, and I was like, ¿Cómo va? Qué bonitas son las Indias. So I remember him being like, okay, well, like we're gonna do it with all the boys. Okay, ready? And like he gave us like the lyrics, and he's like, así es como va. Like, now your turn. And like he would be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and then we would be like nobody said anything.
Damn.
Like, and I remember just being like, oh my god. And then like he tried doing the same thing with Caminos de Guanajuato. He gave us that one. He's like, no vale nada la vida no vale nada. And he would tell us how to sing it. Okay, now you guys, 1, 2, 3, and we're just like. It's like, bro, I'm like, there are girls there. Like, like in my head,
Yeah.
So that kept me from ever developing my voice to lose, el miedo of doing that and stuff like that. And then, like looking back, I'm like, man, dude, that sucks because I wish now that's why I have so much respect for like these guys that go out there because they're the center of attention. Like they'll go up and like they're talking about this song or whatever, like to these random people they don't know. They'll make girls fall in love. They'll go up to them and they'll sing them. Like, bro, I will fold so quick. Like, cause I can't do it. You know, like and right now that I just did it for like my wedding, like I learned this song and I practiced like for like a month. Like, cause I was like, I'm gonna sing a song to my wife since I've never sang to her before. I thought I was gonna make her cry and she didn't even cry. I was like, some of mine.
She was like, "Esto."
Yeah. So I sang este Te amaré toda la vida from the Javier Solís, but like I wanted to learn it, so like I over and over I would just like recite like this thing like a poem in my head, and And when I finally did it there, I was so nervous. Like I remember like my heart just freaking palpitating like a motherfucker. And then like even then, like I'm seeing it right to her. But like it's almost like I didn't see her, bro. Because like I'm literally looking at like a blank sheet of paper in my head that has the lyrics written on there. And I was only thinking about that.
Well, when you're fight or flight, I mean, like everything's just like in the moment.
Well, I don't know, man. Like I did my y salió, ¿verdad? But it was like I can't imagine doing this.
You want to see it?
No, bro. So yeah, I just remember like always. I can replay that moment, but I don't really remember how it went down, you know. And the more that I think about it, I'm like, how do these guys do this on a daily basis, you know?
Yeah.
And they'll go out to play and sing and do and like I regret that I didn't get a chance to like really develop that when I was a kid, because I mean really that's the time to do it.
Yeah.
But again, like there's a hierarchy when you're a kid, and you're scared of everything, dude. You're like you didn't even want anybody to pick up anything that you were scared of or whatever. Like back then they used to pants you, and then they used to like trip you. Everybody liked tripping people back then. Like they would fucking little kid would say "inkawa," and then they would push you and then you fall.
You guys?
Yeah, fucking
For us,
kids.
it was like nut check. It was like nut check.
Yeah, nut check, fresh cut.
Yeah. We had new shoes, bro. It's like it was up on your new shoes.
That was called
new shoes. I don't know.
new shoes. Oh, book check. But that
no.
was for books. I used to do that to Fernando all the time,
bro.
because he thought it was really cool for a while to. It was cool for a little bit to not take a backpack to school. You would just carry your books.
Oh yeah.
So like he would carry his binder and like his heavy ass fucking book like for English or social studies or whatever. Every time we fucking see him, like book check.
It's funny.
it was even funnier whenever like se salían todos los papeles. It was so bad.
You were
bro.
a bully, bro.
Nah, it's just to him. It's because he's like my cousin, so we were just fucking with him all the time. Yeah. Back then, MP3 players were the shit. Like everybody had an MP3 player. Did you have an MP3? Yeah, everybody had one.
I had an iPod.
You never had an MP3 player? I had an MP3.
I went from the what do they call them? Where you put a CD.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's a CD player, but it's like compact, chiquito.
CD player, but it was
like you could just put it like in your pocket.
Huh? Like a PSP size?
A CD, bro. Escuchar música. It was a CD player, but it was like little. Like it was just like a little round thing in the place del disco. Yeah, your little headphones.
Oh yeah, just a CD player.
But how they had a name?
No, it was just a CD player.
Because that could mean a lot of things. What if it's a big one?
A record player?
What? A record player?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, because some CD players are like bigger and they have like las bocinotas. I'm talking about this little.
No,
thing.
yeah, the one that goes in your pocket. It's a CD player.
I thought it had a name. Because you know how like I don't know. Well, I went from that to an iPod.
Oh, okay. So you didn't do the in between. Yeah, bro. I had a fucking Zune for a little bit.
I don't know what that is.
Someone's gonna know. A fucking Zune was like the iPod before the iPod.
Yeah.
It was like a iPod before. It looked like an iPod. It was made by Microsoft.
That's why I think I advanced so fast on guitar, bro. Because I didn't have internet. I think or like a phone. Oh, I had a phone, but like that shit was on minutes, bro.
Yeah.
So like after a while, after like 800 messages, ya valió verga, you know.
I wouldn't call anybody until past 9. Yeah, because I got free minutes. Yeah.
So no tiene nada que hacer, güey. Just like, bueno, I play like Romance for like 10,000 times a day, bro. I'm just like
in your room.
Sí, güey.
Yeah.
Y lo valió verga in high school. I didn't get an iPhone until like senior year.
Yeah,
not even senior year.
I got an iPhone in college. My first year in college, just because I bought it. I used to have my Android and I would have my iPod, so I would act like I had an iPhone, you know, because all my messages were blue and everything. Yeah, but then like you knew I was being ghetto whenever they turned green. I was like, hey, I'm back on my iPhone, on my fucking Android.
Yeah,
yeah.
We had like group chats now with the iPods.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
We finessed all those iPods, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this.
Well, my dumbass at first, it was for an after school program, and after getting certain hours, I think like studying or being there, you
yeah.
could get like something. My dumbass got a Kindle, bro. And then like
You got a Kindle?
yeah,
You're
and
an
then
idiot.
and I came back the next day and I'm like, can I trade this for an iPod? Because that shit used to read, you know.
Yes,
like,
bro.
like, I was like, it was like a tablet, and like, let's go.
It's like it's literally a fucking tablet.
Yeah.
Like but it's not like it's for fucking reading.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
So I came back and I was like, no me gustó. They were like, well, we can trade you, but
No me gustó.
Yeah.
That's
No,
funny.
see what.
It's so funny. We like finesse those two because like you had to stay after school.
I think because of Mariachi too. Like we just said we were like in Mariachi and then we just left.
Yeah, it was Miss man. Shout out to Miss Charvet, bro. Like she got me my first laptop. She got me my first iPod.
Kiss.
Huh? What?
Your first kiss.
No, but she got me all that stuff because I mean she like recruited me and it was kind of sounds like a pyramid scheme now. Because it was like
Tell your friends.
Yeah, she told me and I told all my friends. The whole Mariachi had iPods because of me.
Yeah.
You know, and I had a laptop. That was my first laptop. This is the laptop I took to college.
Oh.
Yeah, it was my first one. It was this like little mini one, but I miraba todo.
I think next year I just got another iPod.
Yeah, because it was multiple times, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the one el que tenía atrás.
I have one in my car. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's badass. Okay, cool.
Every once in a while, I listen to it. I'm like,
Bro, you ever want to get a disgusted look? Tell a kid that you used to have an iPod.
oh, bro.
From now, they're like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Shut up, I hate you."
It's only gonna get worse, bro.
Yeah, bro. You guys have cars with wheels? Everything's fucking.
What do you mean you drive the car? Like,
Yeah. For all like self-driving.
yeah.
Like, I don't need to learn how to drive, mister. Everything just drives itself. This person says, balance my personal family events. I miss many bolas, XVs, 15s playing for other fams. Well, yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing about mariachi. Like, you're always going to have to balance that shit, bro. Like I don't have too many things that I think I missed because of mariachi. Yeah. Usually it's like parties. Like, I know for sure, like, I missed a lot of, like, my family's parties and stuff. Like, I'll go to the big ones, like, 15, woo, let's go, you know, or like a big wedding, I'll go. But like the little parties on Saturdays, or like, you know, once I got to like, you know, 10th grade and I was like working consistently, like I stopped doing to them. That's when I realized like a lot of my cousins started having kids.
Okay.
Because like I'll be like, oh, they're having a kid, like, oh shit, like I didn't know that. Like, yeah, you don't go to the parties. I'm like, oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was like, yeah, so and so got married. I'm like, huh? Like I started getting like information all fucking late, you know. Yeah. So that's the only thing.
You're like, ¿qué pasó?
Mm-hmm. But usually, like I keep in touch with a lot of them. Or I try to.
Apparently not. Shit.
What do you mean?
Because you don't know who's getting married, who's having kids. You're just like,
well,
what?
now I know. Now I know. Yeah. This person said, I wish I would have listened to my friends and learned to read music. Is that good or bad? Like to
what?
not to know how to read music or not?
It's nothing. Like it's just you learn a certain way, you know. Same thing with si no puedes solfear, güey. Like you no puedo solfear.
Oh, like what the trumpet players do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what Mexicans do, like when you see people coming from here in Mexico and talk to another Mexican, they're like, do do mi fa sol. They're like, okay, sale, you know. Yeah. Like I can't do that shit.
I think we live very a privileged life that we have an opportunity to read music.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like we were in a program. And they taught us, you know, at least the basics to learn to read it. And there's not a lot of places like that. Like in Mexico, bro, like they're more worried about, you know, not. Well, actually, a lot of the mariachis there are like musicians. Like they get their money from mariachi. Like that's their job. Like they don't go out to do other stuff. Like their job is to do mariachi. But like, a lot of them will learn like from a tío or from another guy or whatever. And if that guy's not musically trained, it's like, well, you might not learn that stuff either then. It might just be like something that you learn because a guy taught you.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, wait, ¿qué pisada es esa? Like, no sé. You know?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Can you tell me? Because like, I've been thinking the same thing myself. You know,
like oh, who would joke around like that? There was a la violin player that would kind of like pick up like a guitar and be like, "Hey, wait, ¿qué tono es este, güey?" Like, you know, like it's just like it sounds right, like como que sí queda.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like, ¿qué tono es este? Oh, I don't know. Like, yeah, I've been wondering the same thing for weeks.
Like, we can find out together.
Because my cousins, my uncles are, my family is very musical, but not for mariachi. Like I'm the first mariachi that started like there. But like everybody else is norteño. Like a lot of my uncles play accordion, bajo sexto, bass, drummers. We have vocalists in my family. They also play, like, a lot of my family's from San Luis Potosí, Guanajuato area. So like there's a lot of Huasteca type rhythms going on in those towns. And so they play like I guess like a quinto, but it's like a really, really fat guitar. And it has like a bassy type of sound and stuff like that.
¿La guitarrota?
Maybe. You know, they have different...
guitarra panzona.
They have different names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they all have... So like my uncles are all like they can all play. But like as far as like if I told them, okay, like primera, you know, okay, 1, 2, subdominant tonic, they'd be like, get, you know, because like when they first taught me, like when I was barely learning to play guitar, they were like, oh, a ver, enséñame lo que, okay, oh, la primera de sol, okay, la segunda de sol, okay, esta la tercera, and then I go to another key and it's like, ¿qué es eso? And I was like, you know, like they know positions, you know.
Which? No.
Yeah, right. Get this motherfucker. Yeah, that's
los tonos prohibidos, güey.
Lock this motherfucker. Arrest this motherfucker. Oh shit. Nah, man.
Huh?
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 No, I don't think I'm having like war flashbacks right now. It happened already once before.
Yeah.
I'm just like, huh? Nah, man. Like it's crazy, man. So like I guess going back to the topic, it's just like, what do you regret? I mean, I regret not being able to play sports as much, you know. But I'm glad that I'm here, you know. Like I got to go to college. And I played there for 2 years, in the mariachi program, and it was fun, you know, until they didn't let me in again.
Damn, guess what?
Yeah, man, that was the most abnormal thing ever. Like I was like, what did I do? You know,
talk.
I guess
Express an opinion. Bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it goes back to directors, man. It's like every director is going to be different. You know, I think as a director, their job is to, well, obviously direct. You know, musical director. But I mean, the other part I think about mariachis, or just in general, like I feel like there can be opinions coming from the group.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if I ask you a question, I'm gonna give you an answer. You know what I'm saying? Kiwi.
You realize what you said?
What?
You're like,
what?
You're like, if I ask you a question, I'm gonna give you an answer.
Oh, sorry. I real fucked up. I'm sorry. No, if they ask me a question, I'll also give them an answer.
You're an idiot. Yeah.
No, you're dumb.
Yeah.
My bad, man.
Yeah, that's
I'm not even bad. No, but like, yeah, like I'm gonna have my opinion on something, like, you know, and I'll. My dad always taught me to at least express my opinion, you know, especially if you think things aren't right, you know. I've always like a lot of the stuff that my dad said too was like, you know, like if you know you're getting taken advantage of or something, like, you know, you should call that stuff out, like, because I mean, it's not right, you know, because a lot of people get away with certain shit because no one ever tells them anything.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't like that, you know. So, I mean, if I'm not saying anything disrespectful, if I'm not saying anything disrespectful, it's like, okay, well, I'm just saying things. I didn't say it like, with all due respect, fuck you, you know, like it's not what I said, you know. But like it's always been like, for me, like, as long as there's mutual respect between the director and the students or the players or whatever, then everything will be okay. But there has to be like a level of respect there in between. And if there's not, it's most likely because uno se está pasando de verga. Right?
Yeah.
Because
I zoned out. I'm so sorry.
I'm just saying, like if for a group to work, let me say this again. I mean, you listening? For like a group to work, I think this is how it has to be. Like the students or the ¿cómo se llama? or the players and the director. In order for it to work, they have to have mutual respect.
Okay.
If there isn't respect between both parties, it's because uno de los dos se está pasando de verga.
¿Cuál fiesta? Okay.
Uno de los dos
Uh-huh.
se está pasando de verga.
Okay.
Either the players are doing too much or the director is doing too much.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Like, see?
What did I say? Verbatim.
Yeah, like it's all like a balance. Like,
Yes.
you know.
Like you don't have to like you don't have to agree 100%. Like because it's gonna be fucking rare that 100%. Yeah, like that it's gonna be agreeing. But like if there's a director that's doing too much, bro, and it's like, or you're being disrespectful, like what se estás pasando.
Yeah.
Same thing with the players. Like if my job is to lead this fucking group, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna tell you, or whatever. We agree on everything, but like the players are being idiots, or they're not playing, or like they're están pasando, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why there would be a disconnect. So like I've always respected all my directors. You know, the only reason like things wouldn't work probably between both of us is because uno se está pasando.
Yeah, just like usually how it goes.
Yeah, but I mean, in my time, at least for the time being, that's been my experience.
Okay. That's cool, man.
No. No.
I'm agreeing with you.
No.
What?
Te pasaste de verga.
Okay, la.
Let's do a quick charro chat before we take off because ya es menos tiempo. Damn. Espérame. Charro chat for today is sponsored by Herrera.
Huh?
I don't know, bro. Where the hell? Questions for Victor. How do you tune your harp? Do you use any alternate tunings?
I also had a discussion about this. I'm just gonna say I tune to B flat because in Allende we play a lot of B flat, and that's all you need.
So what would this one be tuned to?
Lo que quieres, papá? No, it says
Like right now, what do you have it tuned to?
C. So like everything's natural.
So you turn yours is naturally in B flat.
So that would mean that E and B are flats.
So to put it in C, you got to put those levers
put up
up.
the levers and it makes them natural.
And you have a lever at every?
Yeah, not for that one.
No, but for yours. Oh, okay.
I think it goes down as E flat, but nobody plays any flat unless you're a girl and you play cascabel in C minor. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For C minor. Yeah. C, E,
But,
E flat, G.
Or you're playing camperos. Camperos plays. Yeah. But you're not going to play in camperos. I'm telling you right now. No, I'm just kidding.
They're like, huh? Yeah, I'm sorry. This person said, what's it like to be a director? Did you not just hear the episode? I'm sorry.
Oh, that was yesterday. Oh, no,
Yeah.
you kind of talked about it today.
Yeah. Were those frijoles good? In that video that I put of him, this is a while back, right? Like this
I can tell with the suit. Because
Yeah.
I have not worn that suit
Yeah.
in a long time.
Well, CharroBeans are good. Like, well, actually, most of them are good. Sometimes tan medios fail. Like, I don't like when they. You know how some people put beer in there?
Huh?
They call them borracho beans, which is usually what we call ourselves whenever those pedos like borracho beans.
One of us is.
Bitch.
What? I'm talking about me.
Oh, okay.
It's too early.
I thought you meant me.
Nah, hombre.
Because you be right.
Tú apenas tomas agua.
Chingo. But then, no, but they're usually pretty good. I just don't like whenever they have the like beer aftertaste. And some people like it's because they put beer in there.
I don't like
that.
I just don't like soupy foods. Is that a word? Soupy?
You know, do you not like ramen?
Oh no, I like ramen.
Okay, yeah.
But like
Mexican
like beans with all the. I'd rather have like beans taken out, or like matados, like mushed up. Mushed up.
I've never heard matados before. That's fucking
Yeah, because you never grab the squishy thing to squish them.
Yeah, but
los matas. You just That's how we call it in my house.
Really?
Yeah, frijoles matados. Like, you're just like,
No, it's just refried
you're like,
beans.
no.
I've heard like frijoles machucados. I've heard
Or that. Machacados.
No,
Or that.
machucados.
Sure. I don't know, man.
Or just frijoles refritos.
Oh, no,
fritos.
because they can be whole beans. And
Nah,
you just
bro.
fry them up.
You're frying them. This part of the process. You put oil in there.
Exactly.
and
But they
you
don't have to
fry
be mushed
them.
up.
Yeah, they do.
You don't have to, is what I'm
You're
saying.
not a bean expert like I thought you were, Mister.
I'm saying you don't
Mr. I'm
have
from
to,
Mexico.
because
and I know
I've done
beans.
that. Like, nomás les pones aceite, pones frijoles, but no los matas. You just put them back. It's like you don't mush up fried rice.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Exactly.
Could you?
Probably. It gets soft enough.
Wouldn't you just make like dough or something?
That's flour, no?
No, that's water and flour.
Okay. I'm sorry. Disculpe usted.
I don't know, bro. You talk to a fucking chef. I don't fucking know. Yo no hay pedo, yeah.
¿Qué sigo?
No, that's it.
¿Acabamos?
Yeah.
Hey.
This felt shorter than yesterday's.
Huh?
This felt shorter than yesterday's.
Bro?
Yeah, like I don't know, bro. Nah.
Sorry. Oh, it's because yo estoy cansado, güey. Because yesterday I got home late. And then I had to wake up early to go to school. And I've been in school since like 4. And then I went to go buy some shit. And now I'm here. So if you seem a little phased out, it's because I'm probably taking micro naps. And I just told Sammy, sí, ¿verdad? Te creas, güey.
No me dolió.
Sammy does a lot more than me, if we're being honest.
No me dolió.
I can tell Sammy a whole story and it's like, huh? Who? Exactly.
Nah, yeah. So it was at least our attempt to try to salvage
it's still
an
a good episode.
Yeah, it's still a good
so
episode. Yeah.
You just won't get the one from yesterday. Because life.
All right, okay. We gotta end this shit. So this is episode 116, take 2. We hope that this was a good enough. You probably will never hear the other episode. Like I said, it's pretty much there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
You know, so it's dead. You know, se murió. You know, R.I.P. So we will salvage that. Yeah, and we'll put that somewhere else, and we'll just keep it in a vault somewhere. But for now, thank you guys for coming back to CharroBeans podcast. This is episode 116. We hope that you have a good week, and we will hopefully be back next week with a normal episode that consists of just like this one.
Yeah.
You know, just no robot voices. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully in one take. I can't do this again. But yeah. So we will see you guys next week. All right. Bye. Setup. Look at this shit. I can't even believe
Sammy fucked up again. Oh yeah, Sammy fucked that up again.
Oh, that reminds me.